good. Yep, we're live. We're live. All right. So for our first episode ever of TekBros, boy, what a hell of a time we've had trying to get this thing online. First, then we tried to do this 2 weeks ago, and you went on vacation. And while you're on vacation, the new RTX information for the new RTX graphics cards dropped. Did you read anything about it while you're on vacation?
My family kept hounding me, so unfortunately that did not happen. But I did look over some things before we started today. So.
Okay, so apparently it's going to be a whole new technology, a whole new thing.
Yeah, that much I can see. I'm seeing here that they leaked out a lot of stuff on this. Like
yes.
The price is $1,200.
$1,200 for the 280 Ti. Did you watch Jay's 2 cents video on this card?
No, I did not.
Okay, there's something we got to explain to the viewers about the 280 Ti.
Yeah.
The 2080 Ti, sorry, excuse me. The 2080 Ti really is not the Ti replacement, the 1080 Ti replacement. What this card really is replacing is the Titan. So that, for instance, is one reason why it's a little more pricier than a traditional Ti, the traditional new generation of Ti. Usually when the new technology comes out, like back when Maxwell came out, you saw it in the Titan first before you saw it in the 1080 Ti or the 980 Ti. This time around, the new technology came out with the consumer graphics card. So the way they're releasing this 2080 Ti would have traditionally been a Titan, not a Ti.
So it's basically one of the biggest top of the line cards on the market.
Exactly. So what we always assume Ti means it's just an overclocked version of the other card. So traditionally a 2080 Ti would be more of a beefier, overclocked version of the 2080. But in this situation, the 2080 Ti is really what the Titan would have been. Titan was released with the RTX.
I get it. So this is like the most badass bang card for the buck you can
get. It's the best card you can get. Bang for the buck. I don't know. That remains to be seen. And later in the show, we're going to go over why I think it's not a very good deal right now.
Right.
And
so no one really has a solid opinion on this yet.
Well, I have an opinion on it, but
yeah, I got it. Well, anyway.
So right now, some of the top tech channels on YouTube, they have these cards and they're testing them right now. In fact, I think one of the articles we pulled up is about comparing these cards to the 1080, and we're seeing traditional games now, not rail games, not these new race games, not the new technology that the graphics card is built around, but traditional games. We're seeing about a 10 to 15% improvement across the board from the last technology, which is usually what it is. You know, when we went from 980 to 1080, it was 15%. So it's what we expected.
So this is like a really good card.
Yeah, it is, but is it worth the price? Because as we see, these are more expensive.
Well, I will tell you, I'm using a GTX 1050 right now. I think it's a 2 or a 4 gigabyte card, and it's the non-TI version in my desktop. I don't know if it's the TI version in my laptop, but you know, I should say, I should say that it games just fine for me. So because I mean, really, the only stuff that I do is like low end stuff like Star Wars: Old Republic and very minimal games like that. So nothing too bad.
Exactly. Okay. Now, the whole reason why this graphics card is so exciting is because it's the first time we've had ray tracing technology in the graphics card for consumers. That's what the big deal about these graphics cards are. That's what the R stands for, RTX. It's ray tracing. So
Yeah.
ray tracing has never been able to be run on a consumer game, not real time anyway.
Whoa.
So now with these cards, real time ray tracing is possible. But what we've got to ask ourselves, how many video games out there are going to be programmed to use real time ray tracing graphics?
Probably not many of the first eight.
Exactly this is my concern.
Yeah.
So people are going to drop $1,200 for a real time ray tracing graphics card, and
So if
you
what does ray tracing do exactly? I'm curious. I didn't get that far.
it's really complicated.
Yeah, and
One
given a lot of the users we're gonna have watching don't really know that.
one of the features that this ray tracing graphics card, there's going to be multiple dies on the single GPU. But one of the features that's going to be cool about this is it can now handle the AI. Whereas before, your old graphics card, the CPU is handling the AI, so that eliminates more work on the CPU. The graphics card is going to be doing a lot more intensive work.
Thing. So this is gonna be one of the most amazing video cards that a user can buy.
Yes.
But
Well,
like we asked, is it really worth $13?
that is the question.
Yeah,
So
I mean, when you account tax and all that other crap into it, it's gonna be more than 12 bucks.
exactly.
So
So
I don't know if there's any user that's gonna want to spend 1,200 plus dollars on the graphics. I mean, I have never heard of anybody who's that desperate. I just can't think.
this is what my theory on the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
it's really expensive for games. Now, if you were buying this card for video encoding, that'd be one thing.
Right.
That's what the Titan was for. That's why people had Titans. Video
Yeah,
encoding,
or yeah, if you did like high graphic processing, video editing, something like that, I can understand spending thousands of dollars like that on a graphics card. But if you're just doing gaming, then I don't really see a point.
neither do I. Another issue that I wanted to get into with these cards, these RTX. So you and I are both Linux fans. Unfortunately, I'm not on my Linux PC right now.
Yeah.
We are both Linux fans, and anything we buy has to support Linux. We have to be able to put Linux on the
At
machine.
least, I mean, if not as a solo S, at least in the dual boot or triple boot.
Exactly. I dual boot myself.
Yeah, and I triple boot because my channel is all about all three systems. But still, nonetheless, I mainly run Linux. But there are exceptions. However, um, I don't know that this card, when it first ships, is going to support Linux now.
That is my concern, and that is something we realistically got to look at. How long before a card that supports real time ray tracing would be
Yeah,
usable on Linux, would be worth buying on Linux?
I
Could
mean,
we see a situation like the mobile GPUs again in Linux?
well, I would say, one of our other topics that we had about these cards is that they're already starting to ship them in laptops. I don't know for sure, but I think they are. And I mean, these cards, they could easily run games very well. But on the whole topic of NVIDIA drivers for Linux for these, excuse me, they're not going to, at least from my perspective, um, be ready in the Linux kernel or the Linux subsystem at all whatsoever to support these new high-end cards anytime soon, at least from what I understand. Because, NVIDIA and all these other graphics manufacturers, they don't push out drivers for a long, I want to say a long time because, they got to code them, package them, that sort of thing. And that can take a while. I mean, kernel devs like that, they don't normally put out their drivers like in a snap. It's not
Exactly. I am worried.
I am too, man.
I'm worried about the support for Linux, as we saw NVIDIA in the past with the mobile GPUs, the 960s, 970, 980Ms were not supported. They were not supported for Linux.
No, I mean, it really sucks, because NVIDIA is the slowest when it comes to drivers. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Radeon cards from AMD/ATI, they're always, like quick. And the problem being there is that, um, is that, you know, given Intel and AMD cards, just for comparison, are so much better with their drivers about getting up to date, like on Windows, Mac, or Linux, whatever you want to call it. Like, within I don't know how long typically, but Nvidia always is the laggy in the pack. That's the problem. And you know, the Nouveau drivers, I mean, sure they've gotten better, but they're never going to be that great. I mean, as I've always said when we've talked offline, that just this brand type thing. But Nouveau is not a good game. It's okay for 2D stuff, but 3D stuff, like video rendering or whatever, it's not great for those things. And the proprietary NVIDIA drivers, the official NVIDIA drivers, um, they're much better. I hate to say, but they are much better.
Speaking of
And in the case with, like I said, the case with these cards is whenever NVIDIA releases new chips like this, they're not going to be natively supported out of the box. It's just not.
no, it's not. Speaking of Intel, have you heard Intel's getting into the graphics card industry?
Yes, I have.
So, so with this new lineup of cards from NVIDIA, ray tracing, we don't know anything about NVIDIA's or Intel's plans for their cards. We just know they're coming out with their own graphics cards. I wonder how they're going to handle this, and if Intel tends to go with ray tracing technology, or if they're going to just be like another AMD.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the full story on how with AMD after they transitioned from ATI, but either way, but one way or another, AMD and Intel, for some strange reason, they seem to have better support than most graphics chips.
Well, we'll have to see what happens with Intel, because that's going to be the interesting thing. The Intel graphics card comes out, because we know on the Linux side anyway
Intel has pretty good drivers.
that they'll support it. So will Intel's graphics card be anywhere near as competitive as 2080 Ti? That's the question.
We'll just have to wait and find out. I mean, there's no telling until either of these cards ship.
That is true.
Yeah, and right now, while we're talking, I have a game running on my 1050, and it's not lagging at all while we're on Skype and recording. I can run multiple processes at once and still be gaming at while I'm talking to you without any lag whatsoever. So, just in my defense, I don't think I need any graphics card. So,
Neither do I. I just got 1060 and it works perfect. I do
right,
not need a new
right.
graphics card.
So, what's our okay? So now we're on to NVIDIA GeForce 10 280 and 280 Ti. Our boundary pushing graphics. Huh. Interesting.
Boundary pushing graphics. Well, that would be the ray tracing.
Yes, of course. Like we just talked. That makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, so the 280 Ti and the 280 started at $1,000 to $700 graphics or price. My word.
The pricing is what's going to hurt them, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the $500 for 2070. That's outrageous. I mean, sure, they're great graphics cards, great new technologies, but seriously,
The
two
prices
hundred,
are going to hurt them. I mean, it's an
yeah,
average.
over $300 for these video cards. I mean, my word. If let me just say, if I was Nvidia, and I had these killer great graphics cards, I would put. This is just my opinion. Don't judge me on this. I would say I would put the 1080 Ti at I would put that at 500. Just my opinion. And then I would put the 280 at 300. And this is just I don't know how realistic this is being, but then the 2070 at uh, at the low price point of 200 at most.
And in the end, it probably doesn't matter what the market price is, what their price to start for the reference card is, because can they keep these cards in supply and not to be bought out by the crypto miners? Because as soon as the crypto miners buy them out, the prices are going to shoot up even higher. So if you
Right,
start, for example, for the 2070, if you start at 500, at some point that card's going to be a $700 card after the crypto miners buy them all out.
right. I mean, the crypto miners are really taking over their video card scene these days, and they're making it harder and harder for anybody to buy a video card. I mean, it sucks, but and it's really hurting uh, the Linux community, the Windows community, the Mac community. All the communities are getting hurt by these crypto coin miners, and it's making it hard for system builders and other people who need these video cards. It really is.
If one positive comes out of it,
Yeah.
it could be that when all those crypto miners buy these new cards,
Yeah.
the 28 Ti and all, they're going to sell their old cards on eBay.
Right.
We might luck out and get a cheap 1080 Ti on eBay.
Yeah. Maybe, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, hopefully that happens.
It has happened with AMD in the past.
Right. But the
So
problem is with AMD GPUs, they don't have as good Linux support.
yeah,
But
but we're
hopefully, someone will pop up enough to pop up enough part for them to sell a 1080 Ti on eBay for cheap.
I assume it's going to happen at least at first.
Yeah,
As soon as these cards drop, mark my words, you're going to
yeah.
see 1080 Tis like crazy on eBay, and if
I'm sure plenty of Bitcoin miners or crypto coin miners, whatever you want to call them, are already pre-ordered these things for sure.
they already pre-ordered them, they did. The crypto miners are going to be the first in line to get these,
Yeah.
and they're going to sell their old cards.
Yes, they are.
A 15% improvement. So even if the crypto miners are not using ray tracing technology, which they're not going to use for hashing out cryptocurrency, the 15% improvement alone for them is worth it. They're going to
Yeah.
stand in line to order 7, 8 of these things.
Yeah, just to be able to support what they need to do.
Yeah, and all their old cards will be on eBay.
Yeah, and then I'm probably gonna go snag one of those bad boys.
I was hoping to snag either a 1080 Ti or a Titan. Because that'll be you'll see 1080 Tis and you'll see Titans on eBay now that these cards are out. I can't afford no 280 Ti now. But if
Yeah, I couldn't either. Not even with all the money in my dad's pocket, but I wouldn't take it that far. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
who needs food and who needs to pay rent when you get a graphics card?
yeah. Well, I don't think we should take it that.
And according to PC World, you should just buy it, Ben. Just buy it.
Yeah, right.
Just buy it. Just buy it, Ben. You know you want it. Just buy it. Might be worth pre-ordering.
Huh. But the one trick here is I don't really listen to things like this. Let's see. It says just buy it why Nvidia graphics are worth money. Huh. It's just so bad. What the heck is this? Huh. This doesn't make any sense. Hmm. Well, I'm looking at the 1080, 280 Ti.
So apparently there was an article on Tom's Hardware. So Tom's Hardware said just buy it.
Yeah,
How anyone can tell someone just buy it before we've even seen what it can do.
that makes no sense.
First off, I agree with this article. You should never ever pre-order anything with that has to do with technology. You shouldn't. You gotta watch review after review, make an informed decision, make sure that the price point is right, make sure it's gonna do everything you need to do, make sure you need it. If you have a 1080 Ti right now and all you do is play video games, I'm sorry, you do not need a 2080 Ti. You don't need it.
Uh, no, I wouldn't either. I mean, all I really do is some VM stuff, but that's mainly for work. Other than that, and it's to test Linux distros, build stuff, whatever. And then I just play my games, and that's it. I mean, I don't, I don't, you know, I don't do like heavy crap like that. I just, like we were talking about, I just, do virtual machines, things like that. I don't do like heavy graphics stuff. So this new video card doesn't really benefit. So like Chris said, a if you're just doing video games and basic tasks like that, then you don't really need a huge video card like this.
They want to squeeze out every frame in their game they can. Oh, I'm sorry, 15% improvement is not worth the price. It's not.
Huh.
I come from a generation when we would only update our graphics card in the 90s, 2000s. You'd only update your graphics card after like 3, 4 years. Now they expect you to update every year.
Yeah, that's a
Although in NVIDIA's defense, it has been 2 years since we've seen new technology from NVIDIA. In NVIDIA's defense, it has been two
yeah.
years. So
I would say, if you're doing like we said, if you're doing high, what you call it, like high super graphic intensive stuff, then yeah, it may be worth it. But if you're just doing um, gaming or typical computer stuff like that, then it ain't worth it.
no. If you have a 6 or a 7 series NVIDIA card, maybe you
Yeah.
should be looking at these. Um, because
But
then you do have an old card. But if you're in the 10 series right now, I do not see a need to upgrade to this.
right,
Wait for the 2100 series.
yeah, that's a
By
good
then,
point. Which are likely coming next year. So
yeah.
there's no point. I mean, really, no point in getting one of these right now. I mean,
By the time the
I would wait
21 comes out, they're
till
going
they
to
come
have
down
more
in
games
price next
supporting
year.
ray tracing. So, so by the time 2100 series comes out, things are going to be supported. You're going to have more ray tracing games that will actually use that technology. They'll probably be, if you're in the Linux like us, they will probably have
Yeah. We'll
driver
probably
support.
have really good drivers. Everything's going to be tested. More games. Everything's going to work.
Exactly.
Yep, and we're gonna have killer drivers, kick-ass games. Everything's gonna work. So, but right now, that is not the case.
So to sum up the TekBros opinion on the new NVIDIA graphics cards, wait. Wait, possibly wait until the next iteration of this technology comes out. Ray tracing is a cool thing. NVIDIA should be applauded for coming out with this technology. But
That's
realistically, you shouldn't be jumping on this bandwagon this soon.
no.
So wait for the 2100 series. By then, ray tracing, there should be more games that support it.
Yeah,
Drivers on Linux if you're in the Linux. All the bugs that come from new
possibly pop
technology,
up and be fixed.
they'll be fixed by then. Let the people with a lot of spare income and uh,
Yeah,
that love to deal with that crap, let them fix it. Don't be NVIDIA's guinea pig.
yeah. I, you know, I'll just use my iPhone for example. Um, I the only reason I'm running the beta is of iOS 12 and Mac Mojave is because I am a developer. I don't actually develop for them, but I just run their test software. I don't actually, build software. I just test things to see how they run. And I haven't in the first beta. I had problems everywhere. So, like Chris said, folks, don't be a developer's guinea pig because trust me, it hurts. My sister Katrina, um, I'm going to use her as an example right here. She installed iOS 12 on her phone. It was really bad, really crappy, buggy, whatever. She was on the latest iPhone, iOS 10, iPhone 10, excuse me, and she hated it. She went back to iOS 11 because it was more stable. So that's a prime example of, in this case, NVIDIA, why you don't want to succumb to buying these early. It's going to come and bite you in the butt. And it's not going to be fun. There's going to be inconsistencies. There's going to be problems. Seriously. Wait a little bit, the card will work fine. So just trying to help you guys out with this.
Here's a good analysis
Yeah,
for if you should buy this card.
yeah.
If you see right here on this page, we have a thing called PC Builder. If you're clicking gaming, this card's probably not for you. At least not right now. If you're
Of
clicking
course.
workstation, this card's probably for you. That's as simple as I can make it, folks.
Yeah, the example I gave was pretty good, but I know it's not for newbies. But here's the thing: if you value gaming, like we said, don't buy this card. Just that's
Wait, wait for it. You should be getting bang for your buck if you're building a gaming rig.
yes. I mean, if you're building a gaming rig, you need to get bang for the dollar. If and this is not
No, not right now anyway.
no.
We're not shitting on the technology. We're not even shitting on the video. We're just saying for the majority of the people out there who I've been seeing on Facebook and on Twitter who want to buy this card, you're a gamer, don't jump into this. Wait for it.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait it out. It'll be worth it in the long.
Okay, anything else today to add about the card?
I think we got it, man.
Okay. In other news, real quickly before we go today, so I understand you have your own Linux distribution out now, Ben.
Yes, I sure as heck do. I have, well, a couple actually. I have a draw by Hackman and Linux, and um, my Hackman Linux is based on Arch Linux, and it features an Ncurses installer, um, a simple but beautiful XFC setup, and I'll give you the link to my SourceForge page for that, and that will be, or actually the Google Drive page for that because that has the newer version, but the latest version at that. But yeah, it's gonna be in the show notes down below this video, and
Absolutely.
yeah, and hope you guys check it out and enjoy it, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Maybe we can get you to make a tutorial video on this channel
Oh, sure, sure.
for
I'll make
Hackman
I'll
Linux.
make a I'll make a Hackman Linux tutorial on our show channel here, as well as on my personal YouTube channel as well.
And we know the link that. All right, so that's all the time we have for you today, guys. This is TekBros.